Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your boy. It's the Buffalo Fanatics. It's the Rico Report brought to you by you know who, the Buffalo Fanatics. We back at it again. If you are tuned in right now, having a good old time and ready to talk injuries, you know what time it is, man. It's Injury Wednesdays, Biology 101. I'll be joined by my homie, the Thigh Doc. We're going to be breaking things down because it turns out these Bills sitting there rubbing parts of their body saying, hey, coach, I can't practice today. If you saw the laundry list of players that weren't able to practice today, you'd be ringing the alarm. You'd be ringing that alarm and saying, hold on now, because they're not just players that, here and there get snaps. No, these are prominent players on this team that make this team go. Well, when the Thigh Dog gets here, he's going to have some explaining to do. And I'll tell you right now, one of the names on that list has potential to not play this weekend. I don't like you whatsoever. By the way, shout out to everybody tuned in right now. Smash that like. And while you're smashing that like, do me a favor. Just throw your area code in there. Throw me your area code. Where are you at? If you don't have, you don't want to share your area code, what city you repping? You know what I'm saying? Anybody from the West Coast? Anybody from the Midwest? Anybody representing the South? Let me know in the comment section. Show some love while you come. Where's the 239-315? I know 315. I know it's that 716-785. Isn't that Rochester? I think I know that. Any 416s in here? Any 613s? Any 902s in this B? Let me know. And if you're wondering where those area codes, those are all Canadian area codes. So I gotta salute to my Canadians. So listen, man, let's get right into the show. If you guys have been living under a rock, it ain't good. The amount of people that are on the injury report, absolutely not pleased by it. And I'm hoping that this was just, they gave their all against the Kansas City Chiefs, and they just feel like, listen, just give me another day off, fam. Give me another day off. But I would have loved to see vet rest right next to what's going down, but I didn't see any of that. I did not see any of that. So we got some things to talk about. So let me just pull up that list real quick. And we can talk about who it is that we gonna be missing, and hopefully there's not a whole lot that keeps them from gaining momentum and putting some more W's in the chat. You say W's in the column. So that's what we got to look at. So let me prep that up, and then let me check in on my guy Thigh Doc, because I know I sent him the link from the show up and show out, and we're about to find out where he at, because I think I pretty much did send him that link. Yeah, he got it. So we're gonna wait for my man. So anyways, how are we feeling now that you've ingested enough podcasts in your timeline in order to really grasp what has taken place of the trades that we did not make? Are you still feeling some type of way after hearing Brandon Beane's presser? And after hearing, obviously, Sean McDermott's presser? I mean, with the gist of it all, Brandon Beane pretty much told you, I tried. People, I tried making something happen. If you thought that I was sitting on my hands like a whole lot of Bills fans think that I was doing, I wasn't. But it also takes two to tango is pretty much what he said. It's exactly what I was telling you guys yesterday. You can't go into a car dealership expecting to buy yourself a vehicle, or purchase or lease the vehicle that you want, and not expect some pushback and saying, but you got to give me something. And if you can't come to an agreement, you ain't got a deal. You can want that car all you want. There's two ways you're going to get that car. If you overpay, or there's a fair deal. There's a fair deal. And usually the rule of thumb was, it's a fair deal when both parties are not happy. Nobody felt like they ran off with something, right? Yo, I gave up a lot. You gave up a lot. It's a fair deal. Let's shake on it. It's cool. It wasn't like as if Brandon Beane didn't try. He tried. It just did not work out. So here we are. No trades. We got to deal with what we got to deal with. But now we're dealing with injuries. So I don't like the guys that are on this list. Let me put it that way. So without further ado, you know what time it is. I got to bring my guy, the Thigh Doc. I'm going to tell you right now, he may give you information that you are not prepared to receive. Don't hold it against the guy. He's just doing his job. That's it. He's doing his job. Let him do let the man do his job and let him explain to you guys how, why, when, where, and when we can get these guys back. Without further ado.
Oh,
put those things away. Look at the guy on that, brother, man. Yo, but real question.
What's
how much
up?
You squat? What do you squat?
I don't squat. I just dance.
You're a fool. You know what though? Listen, let me tell you something. That's a t-shirt.
500, baby.
I just dance. Yo, you put 500.
Hey, this is you.
All right, my man. All right. I like it. Squish.
Yeah, I
the
don't do it
fish.
much.
It's the
I don't
week.
do it anymore because it hurts. Yeah.
It's the week to squish the fish. But here's the question: who we squishing the fish with? Did you see the laundry list of players on the injury report? Are you ready to get into it with some people? Are you ready to let us know what to how we're gonna deal with these injuries? So without further ado, let me jump in. By the way, for the chat that's in the for everybody in the chat, is there a lag between my man and myself? Are we lagging? Are we good? Can you hear me? No problem.
You're clear now. When I was backstage, it was a little trippy, but
a little wonky. Maybe it was all that funky music we're listening to. Maybe I like it. All right.
Could have been me.
Listen.
Yeah.
Well, listen. First, before we get into the injuries, man, how are you? And I can't just make you jump into injuries. What did you take away from the Chiefs game? I need your thoughts. What did you take away from the Chiefs game?
I got a couple things I want to say. I went to the game, and
you were at the game. Yes,
I took the little man. So we live downstate, so it's easy to get to the Jets game. So I've taken him to 2 Jets games. It's not the same, and I'm just like hyping it up. Hey, yo, you want to go see a game in Buffalo? It's gonna be different. We don't sit down. It's crazy. It's mayhem. And he's like, yeah, I want to go. So I figured Chiefs game. It's a good one to bring him to.
Absolutely.
But the tailgate was A+. So you can do 2 things when you tailgate. You can show up, set up your own shop, or you can do what we did. So we parked and we did the migration tailgate. So I let him see the
migration tailgate. Tell me what that is. We're just going from one place to another and just kind of That's the way I think it should be always done. Just go everywhere.
Yeah. So you pack some drinks, pack some food.
Yeah.
And so we looked at the CBS set, nothing special, but it was kind of cool. Then I took him to see that Bill's Mafia house. We wanted to see it. They have a cool sand thing in the back, like a sand sculpture. Big shout out to Anthony from the Poncho Group. Okay. Nice guy. I didn't tell him who I was. He didn't know who he was talking to. Just thought I was a stranger. Nice. And I was like, yeah, it's my son's first game. And then as I'm walking away, he hunts me down and he's like, hey, buddy, hey, this will fit your son. And he gives me a shirt, and it's like a throwback greatest comeback shirt for no reason. He didn't know who I was. He thought I was just a stranger. I'm like, hey, I'm the thigh doctor. You know what I mean? It's not like that. Good guy.
Love it. And I
then we went over to Pinto Ron's tailgate. I've been there before, but it's usually crowded. And my wife hadn't seen it either. So I have actually even seen the ketchup mustard ceremony in about 10 years. So we go in there, and I say hello to Pizza Pete. He lets the kid make a pizza.
That's
And
amazing,
then,
man.
yeah, then Ketchup and Mustard are wearing their costumes. I'm like, hey guys, it's his first game. Could you take a picture? Takes a picture, and they're like, first game. And I was like, yeah, you think you could help me get him up close? That was kind of like low key what I was trying to do. I was trying to
No doubt.
get him, because it's hard to see. So especially when you're little. So I was trying to like, hey, it's his first game. Can anyone just try to make sure he can witness it?
That's
And
right.
then the ketchup guy, particularly, I don't know his name, another great guy. He's like, let him see. He's coming with me. Puts his arm around him. He's like, we're going
Dude,
now. He's coming with us. And I'm very protective, but so it did make me nervous because I could not see him for about 4 to
you're
5 minutes.
nervous dad over here.
Yeah. Yes, I am. I can't help it. So he walks around like 1,000 people, and they kind of like go around the whole ring of it, and then they come through the circle, and they kind of like spread it like the sea. And I'm thinking, if he chickened out and he's not there, I'm going to probably have to jump in the middle, stop the show. Where's my kid? Like that's what I was about to do.
Everybody stop. Where's my son?
And then it's like WWF style. Like they put the song on, they come out, the sea spreads, and then there's the two ketchup mustard. I just still don't see him. And then he's walking in with Pinto Ron, and I'm like, God damn it, this kid got these for lifetime. So they just settled in. They kind of like were like, come on in all the way. And he was like, no, I'm good. I'm just gonna stand here. So he was in the inner ring. We made eye contact, so it was good. So that was perfect. Other things, the weather. Now, when you looked at that weather report early in the week, it was looking like low 40s, windy and rain,
Right.
and it just, I mean, the drive-in was good, and then the game was 50, 51 and sunny and no wind. Like
50,
nailed it.
51 and sunny. What does that equate to in Celsius? 51.
I
So
don't
that
know.
would what
It's
that make
over
it like?
zero. I know that.
Like probably 10,
it's
10, 10 to 12 degrees, give or take, 15 degrees. We'll figure it out.
it's like sweatshirt and short weather
Okay,
while it's in
I
the
got you.
sun.
Probably a
But
little more than
anyways,
that.
yeah, it depends if you run hot or cold.
There you
So
go.
last thing I was gonna say, yeah. So then that weather that was supposed to hit came Monday. It was like cold, rainy, and windy, and I just feel like we hit the jackpot. Then the game was awesome. Thoughts on the game? The offense, obviously, the passing game picked it up. Still, I mean, they're not like this. Isn't like 2020 Buffalo Bills where they're just shredding them down the field.
Right.
But they had a good game plan. They moved it appropriately, and then the big story is the defense, what they did with Mahomes. So again, I'm sure you guys will go through analytics throughout the week and all that, but the big thing it wasn't the quick pressures. It was the how should I say this? The discipline to stay in those rush lanes. They had a good plan of attack,
Yes, they
and
did.
they
Yes, they did.
confused them. I mean, they ran a lot of dime. I saw that Milano in Williams didn't play many snaps.
Yeah.
Just Bernard did, and it must have confused Mahomes. And they didn't let him scramble, and they shut his ass down. It was amazing.
Was the crowd, because Jim Nance was like, boys are never allowed in here. I think it was Tony Romo that said it. Was it just was it jacked in there or what?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just getting my voice back if I sound a little raspy. So I don't know. Is it the loudest I've ever heard it? I mean, the place isn't like trembling, like oh my goodness, this is like rattling. But I mean, I'm probably one of the biggest loudmouths in there. My hands are sore because I'm slapping the seat in front of me. I'm just going the whole time. But I mean, it was definitely loud on when we were on defense. So
Love it.
I
Love it.
I can't rate if it was the loudest ever, but it was hopping in there.
It's always ever loud. It's the time when you're super loud and you got somebody turning around, you kind of keep it down. I don't know if any Bills fans does that, but there's always one or two that might kind of like, yo, take it down a notch. But if you're having a good time, you're having a good time. Now, I do have an unpopular opinion. And now that I look at it now, and I think society has got us to this point, but like I grew up. You and I are in the same age group. We grew up in the pause era. You know what I mean? When something's a little sus, you're like, yo, pause a little bit. You know what I mean? That comment you just made, yo, pause, bro. Yo, when Pinto Ron comes out and he's got the two glizzies in his hand, and he
Burgers,
sits
they're
there.
burgers.
Are they burgers? I thought it was two
It's a
hot dogs.
burger. You know what? I always thought it was a hot dog. And then I said that, and this lady, who obviously has been there for all these games, she goes, a hamburger. And she was like, it was like she was appalled that I said a hot dog. And I was like, oh, okay. So
Dude,
he opens
the whole time.
he opens the buns, and it's like hitting both of them. And then he puts it together and he eats it.
Why did I always think it was two hot dogs? He's holding two hot dogs, and he's got his mouth open and just squirt. Bro, everything just seemed super pause worthy, and I never really realized it until like this society's got me all messed up now because I'm looking at this. I'm like, yo, this old man Ron is a staple, a well respected individual, and I'm sitting here letting get the glizzies out of your hand. But the fact that they're hamburgers. Yeah, it's a different ballgame now.
It's just buns. It's just buns, bro. It's just buns.
It's just buns. It's just buns.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm glad that you went to the game. I'm glad your son got an opportunity. He's never gonna forget that, man. He's gonna remember that forever. That's freaking amazing.
So everyone has that moment. I was hoping he was going to have that moment to lock him in. Obviously, we don't live in Buffalo, so it's tougher. You know, I'm obviously the biggest Bills fan in town. There's a couple of them though. He's got a couple of dads have connections to the area, and he's got his like Bills buddies. But when I was his age, I went to the greatest comeback game, and we didn't go to a lot of games. I got to go to preseason games, but that was like the first real game, and that locked me in. So for me to get him to the Chiefs game, he knows how it's heightened for the Chiefs games. That was perfect, just perfect.
Here's my question for you: when you're watching that game, did Cole Bishop stand out as much as I thought? As much as he did on tape and on screen, was he really just all over the? Was he by far the best defender on the field?
Yes, he was.
Man,
he was amazing.
You love to hear it.
Yes, sometimes in the stands you don't get the replays. They really don't do the replays well in the house, for better or for worse. But like there was one play where he cut off the swing pass, and I thought they were going to call pass interference, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. But I guess it was just an illegal motion or something. But
amazing.
Broke it up. We all knew he's the one who labeled Kelsey in the end zone. I mean that got the crowd going, and then Kelsey had to come up early.
But I'm sure it did, man. He crunched that boy right in the gut, man. My man Season B says, I'm planning on going to my first home game this year. I live in Tennessee. Yo, salute to my man Season Beast. So making the trip is rough. Which home game should I go to? I mean, shoot. I mean, depending on how cold you like it, man. Because the later you wait,
longer wait now.
This is why I'm a home game guy between the months of September and the middle of October. No further than that. I don't go any further. I don't do the cold games. I just can't do it. I just can't, won't do it. Maybe one of these days somebody will bring me out and we'll have to do it. But for me, not now, not yet. All right, let's get right into the nitty gritty. Are you ready for this, brother? We got some things to talk about. We got some things to talk about. Listen, first and foremost, we'll get through your limiteds, right? So we've got Christian Benford, Terrell Bernard, and Josh Palmer. Let's start with Josh Palmer. What are the odds that we can get Josh Palmer back this week?
Palmer's coming up on 4 weeks. He's got a high ankle sprain and an MCL of the knee. Less worried about the knee, more worried about the ankle. He got into practice last week, didn't look great. And this is going to be a second week practicing. I think it trends well. Like if it was more of a mild sprain, 4 weeks is reasonable. He could play this weekend. Gonna have to track that one on the injury report. See if he can get up to a full participation by the end of the week, and he's a lock. If he goes limited, I don't know. It'll be a close call. If he doesn't get in this week, he's in next week, though. Just let me assure you that.
It would make sense because I'm monitoring him, and like you just said, if it's limited, what's the point? We've had him without we've been without him for 3 weeks now. Offense didn't look bad last week at all. They were moving the football. Josh was on the money. I mean, 3 incompletions and one of them was a throwaway. So, I mean, for the most part, if we have to make him sit for 1 more week, so be it. But I also wonder, because we didn't trade for a receiver, will they try to prop him in there? We didn't need to trade for a receiver because he was ready to go. So I hope they don't rush him back based on the fact that we didn't trade for anybody. So good to hear about Mr. Josh Palmer. So looking at Christian Benford, he's dealing with a groin injury, and those groins are really tricky. So limited with a groin injury, and then you got Terrell Bernard with an ankle. Is this ankle situation for Terrell Bernard just a residual of the injury that he was dealing with, or is it something brand new?
We're talking about the groin for
No, we're talking about Bernard with the ankle.
Oh, Bernard with the ankle. Yeah, it's the same ankle that he had hurt.
Same ankle. Okay, so originally,
missed a game, bye week, came back. They actually didn't play him, and then that was his first game back. I can't speak on X's and O's, but I understand that he's kind of getting lost out there and getting torched sometimes. I don't know if that's an ankle issue, but obviously the ankle's still bothering him. What can I say about the ankle? The ankle was a low ankle sprain. It's not a big deal, but he's had ankle injuries in the past. Hang on one second. Yeah. Rocco. Turn down a little bit. Thanks.
Can't even hear him. You're good.
Oh, you can't? All right, perfect.
No.
It's just confusing me. I'm like hearing him
talk.
Good. And then, so it's a low ankle sprain. Shouldn't be serious, but he's had those injuries in the past. So once it's a recurring thing, it kind of makes it harder to get over. I think it's bothering him a little bit, but it's not a big deal. I expect him to play. Now, the other limited, Christian Benford with the groin. Now, he had the groin pop up early in the year. Remember, coach is like, it's a lower leg injury. We didn't know if he had a concussion thing because he's like, I needed some rest. He left practice. That was the day Trey White got hurt. It ended up being a groin. He might be fighting through that all year, and now he's actually on the report. Now, what's interesting about Christian Benford here is that coach didn't say it before practice, which makes you wonder if he injured it in practice. And I'm kind of leaning that way, trying to read through the tea leaves here. I know he had a long list though, so potentially he just missed it. You know what I mean? And they knew he was going to be limited and is just sore from the game. But I would keep my eyes peeled that he's did not practice tomorrow, and then we'll know he kind of hurt in practice today, and then he will be shut down for this game.
So tomorrow is going to be a very crucial day because we want to see if Josh Palmer is limited again. So I mean, maybe that trends well. But I would
assume Palmer's going to be limited tomorrow. Like I don't think he's going to get downgraded. It's just a matter of if he just stacks limited all week. He's not, it's 50-50. But if he gets up to full decision, if he gets up to full, we know it's game on.
So groin injuries are tricky. I mean, there's mild and there's severe groin injury. So we don't know what the severity of this groin injury is. Let's talk if it's minor. Some rest all week should be able to have him in the game, or is this one of those things where it's like, as if it's a minimal strain of the groin, he can still function and play. But I've injured my groin, and that's not fun. A lot of things it limits you to a lot of things. So what are your thoughts?
I mean, it affects your cutting and your acceleration, deceleration. Now, not all groins are just groins. So there's those core muscle injuries. They call them groins sometimes, or they'll call them core. And those, if it's not severe, it's just something that's going to flare up and calm down. Then eventually you go ahead and get it fixed. But you could fight through that as long as it's not like it just absolutely killing him. Or he can have some hip impingement. So sometimes you get I don't want to get too much into the medical jargon, but a lot of guys, as you go through puberty, you play contact sports, you build up some extra bone growth on the top of your femur. So then when you bring your knee up towards your chest, your femur starts to impinge the labrum of your hip, and then you can get groin pain there. That would take a surgery to really correct. But guys deal with this hip impingement all the time, and they just throw it on the report as a groin. It doesn't mean he has to get surgery, but it's something that might be aggravated at this point. And then he could have just literally just strained his groin. So if that's the case, if it's a fresh strain and it's like the muscle, I mean, that's 2 to 4 weeks. But I'm leaning towards it's something he's kind of been dealing with since the beginning. He's aggravated it. If he doesn't play this week, he plays next week.
All right. Joey Bosa.
Yeah.
Wrist. I saw it when it happened. I think we all saw it. Well, you couldn't have seen it because you were live in the game, but they showed a replay of the play, and he landed really quickly and right onto his it looked like he landed on his elbow, but also his hand was bracing. So I wasn't sure, but then he ended up holding the wrist that his elbow ended up making contact with. So have you seen footage? Have you seen what it looks like?
Yeah.
If not, I can try to find one for you so you can see it for yourself.
there was two plays where he kind of held his wrist during the game. One
Okay.
was just a regular play. Another one was a weird one where the play was coming to an end and he was trying to like avoid toppling on the pile, and then he had like an awkward like fall, and you could tell he fell awkwardly because he just like went down like a slap of bricks, and it's because he didn't want to land on his wrist, and then he held his wrist. That's the one he landed on the forearm on the ground. I think you're talking about that one.
That's
Long
the one.
story short, he was wearing a wrist brace going into the game. Apparently, it's
Yes, it
been
was.
bothering him since last week. So I would chalk it up as a sprained wrist. He finished the game. I don't
Hmm.
expect him to have to miss time, but if it's bad enough and they want to rest him for a week, I could imagine that. But we're going to get to some other injuries, and I don't think they have the numbers to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think they suit him up and they give him like a 25 to 40% snap count and just keep it low. I think he's got a sprained wrist, but I think he could play through it. I think it would benefit from a little rest, but I don't think they have the numbers to let him do it right now. Yeah,
Listen,
they're just holding it.
I hope he's fine because I was trying to get it at the beginning of the fall. Hopefully I can try to slow it down enough. So that way we can have an idea of what we're talking about here. But like the way that man
Tibbetts
boom,
posted a good one.
that's the one I'm on right now, Tibbetts.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. This was, yeah. See how
So
he
like it's
avoided. He didn't even land on it. He was avoiding it. And I think it just
let me say that again because I can't slow it down
contact of the
anymore.
elbow. Yeah. See, he doesn't even land on it. The contact of the elbow reverberates through the wrist because he's already favoring it. Like the injury's already happened.
Okay, got it. Got it.
But it
I
gave him a
got
little
it.
shocker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was like, oh no. But I'm sure because these players deal with so much scrutiny already. So him holding his wrist, I wonder in his mind he goes, "Oh, here we go. These guys are gonna think I'm soft and I'm gonna miss some time and I'm injured again. I gotta fight through this." So he fights through the whole game, and now we're dealing with this. He did not practice. So I hope this is one of those did not practice and then tomorrow limited, and then we go
Yeah.
from there. But 2 in a row, I
Two
don't
in a
know if I
row, we're in
like.
trouble.
Oh,
Yeah.
buddy,
Tomorrow's a huge day. I mean,
it
for a
is
couple of these guys. And we'll get to the big one in a minute. But yeah,
right.
but in my opinion, listen, Bosa finished the game. He's been dealing with the wrist for 2 weeks now. I think he's got to play because we'll just do it now. Hoyt obviously tore his Achilles, so he's out. And then you got
Yep.
Epinesa who popped up with a concussion. These concussions, now some guys can come back in the same week, but it's rare now. Usually they miss 1 week. So I'm thinking Epinesa's out for a week. Hoyt's out. You're down
So
two. You're
you're
down.
calling it now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Epinesa, you say is gone for the week. Where did he get
He,
that? Like I'm
he,
trying to. I
I
mean, you just never know these days.
listen. I can't go through all these. I got a
Golly,
full time
this is
life over here.
craziness.
But all I know is that it appears that he did not come out of the game for a concussion. It was never reported. It might have been those delayed symptoms after the game, and these low grade concussions are taking guys. They're usually giving them 1 week off. I think Tylen Grable was a roster stash at this point because I don't think he has a head injury that bad. He's been out for 3 months now.
Yeah, it's been a
I
while.
think it worked for the team to just put him on there and keep him there because he's a little undersized. Wait till he gets gassed up. He's going to be awesome. One more
I'm looking
offseason.
forward to it. I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
it. All right, listen, man. The biggest one on the list for me. I mean, obviously AJ Epinesa concussion. Taron Johnson, obviously he's dealing with.
So Tehran not practicing yet is another. That's a red flag to me. He got hurt on Friday. You
Yep.
need 1 to 2 weeks, so he'll only be 1 week by Friday, and that's only 1 week. He's trending towards not playing. Just keep an eye on that one as well.
And you know what? I wouldn't be so like, oh shucks, that he doesn't play. I think we looked all right with Cam Lewis with a little bit of Jordan Hancock, a little bit. So obviously you want all your players to be playing, but it allows us to be a lot more multiple. So I'm cool if he has to take time to heal. Go ahead and do that. Last but not least, man. I mean, obviously,
Before we
Shaq
get to the
Thompson, we know
Cook,
he's a hamstring. Go ahead.
yeah, I know Cook's going to be the hammer. So Shaq Thompson still out with a hamstring. It's a really odd thing. He played all the snaps the week before, and then the coach said he was going to have a vet rest day, and then he was limited on Wednesday, and then they shut him down Thursday, Friday. In my opinion, I feel like there's a little bit of a shuffling of the deck. None of these guys are really healthy. Milano, Thompson, and Bernard, and I feel like
Right.
they get two guys that are pretty healthy. They let the other guy rest, and then boom, say Milano tore his pec. Well, Shaq's not going to did not practice today. He's probably going to be
Yes.
practicing. I feel
I
like
can
they're
totally see that.
playing with it because none of them are completely getting healthy, and they're
Yep.
just kind of shuffling it around right now. But Shaq, without practicing for his hamstring, it just seems like they're going to shut this one down for 2 weeks, which is usually how long you need to shut down a hamstring. Now that I always mix up Benford, Bernard and Milano appear ready to roll again. And
I
then
mean,
the
listen,
other, Daquan
go ahead.
Jones is another soft tissue one. So he pulled his calf, week 6 before the
Yep.
game, 7, 8, 9. He's coming up on 4 weeks as well. I mean, calves can come back in 3 weeks, but he's older. He's 35, and he's got the history of the calf going back to those playoffs a couple years ago. So obviously they're going to be very careful with that, especially how thin they are at D tackle right now. You cannot mess with him re-aggravating his calf because then he's going to shut it down for 6 weeks, and we don't want that.
Buddy.
Just do it
Buddy,
now. Just do it now. So
brutal.
give him another week or two. I won't even start sniffing Daquan's coming back until we see he's at least limited in practice. Now, coach did call him day to day about a week and a half ago, so I assume he's on the mend. Don't sound the alarms. He never had to go on the IR. Look for him to start getting back into practice by next week, and maybe we can unload him on Tampa Bay.
Whew. All right.
Yeah.
Benford limited. Terrell limited. Bosa did not practice. AJ Epinesa did not practice. Teron Johnson did not practice. Daquan Jones obviously did not practice. Palmer limited. Maybe limited the rest of the week. Jordan Phillips had a little bit of wrist boo-boo. He practiced. We good. And then Shaq Thompson with the hamstring. The biggest issue I have right now is our bell cow running back, Mr. James Cook himself. He's now popped up on the injury list with an ankle injury. So I'm going to see if I can find that clip.
Pull up my timeline.
I'm going to do that right now
put in
because
slow-mo.
the way you slowed that thing down,
You
it
can see
has me it has me concerned because the way that ankle rolled up, I did not quite like it. But you did mention something on your feed where you're like, well, he did finish the game. But finishing the game these days, the adrenaline does so
Correct.
much for you that doesn't really matter sometimes. So it's one of those situations where, okay, well, you know what? Let me try to show you guys exactly what's taking place here. So let me share my screen here so you guys have an idea. It's a little blurry, but you can somewhat see it. Let me slow it down a little bit more than it already is.
So right ankle, look underneath number 20's butt. It's a pseudo hip drop tackle. I actually always say they hip dropped him just to get people excited. Because honestly, that is a little bit of BS. He drops his hips and he lands on his leg. But see how he caves the ankle in?
Yes.
That is how you do high ankle sprains. However, when you have to fold in that way and you have to have it rotate. So when it just folds, it's a medial ankle sprain. If it folds and twists, like rotates this way, like you're opening up a can or a bottle top, that's a high ankle. Those are the worst. And when it's the usual, like I'm sure a lot of people in this chat and you, Rico, have like played pickup basketball and rolled your ankle to the outside.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's a low ankle sprain. Low ankle sprain's the best. Those guys can come back in a week, and they'll do that with their star players if they need the body. A medial ankle sprain is a little more rare just to get the medial without the high ankle, but those are like a little worse than low ankle sprain, but much better than a high ankle sprain. So low ankle sprain, you're looking at one week, 1 to 2. High medial ankle sprain, 1 week to 1 to 3 weeks. And then
Buffalo Fanatics, what's going on? This is Pierre the Kingpin, and I wanted to talk to you today about Cigars International, which is the ultimate destination for premium homemade cigars. Known as the industry leader, Cigars International offers the largest selection, unbeatable prices, and a customer service experience that's second to none. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned vet, Cigars International makes enjoying cigars easy, approachable, and fun. Cigars International is the go-to retailer for all things cigars, with the biggest selection of premium homemade cigars available anywhere. Cigars International offers unbeatable deals and discounts, making it easy to stock up on your favorite or try something new without breaking the bank. With fast free shipping and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, you can shop with confidence knowing that Cigars International stands behind every order. They have good relationship with vendors that helps provide great low prices. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned pro, Cigars International makes it easy to find the right cigar with helpful guides, staff reviews, and expert advice. It's not just about cigars. Cigars International also offers a wide range of accessories and more to elevate your smoking experience. Check out the great deals every day at cigarsinternational.com. That's cigars, CIGARS, international.com. Use code Fanatics at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply. Again, use code Fanatics at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply.
High ankle sprains of 4 week to 6 week. Now, he finished the game.
Yep.
Which is good. But if you look how he looked after halftime, his yards per carry plummeted into the threes. Now, it could be game plan. It could be that the adrenaline wore off when he went in for halftime. He taped up both of his ankles right after that injury. He only missed 1 or 2 snaps and came back in. He still had a lot of plays. He finished the game. He said, I'll see you next week. I'm sure he's optimistic, but much like Ed Oliver, sometimes these ankle sprains, these guys are tough. These aren't wimps. These guys are tough as nails. Ed Oliver gets hurt in practice, and then he ends up missing a month. You know what I mean? And he was walking around with a boot after practice. So if the team if it is what I think it is, a medial ankle sprain, it's got to be something. I mean, it's either medial or high. But so I'm just hoping it's just medial. I don't think he plays this week. He also has a foot on. He also has foot on there, which means it's a little more complicated. Which means he probably sprained in the middle of his foot a little bit. So or he had a foot sprain on the other foot. I don't know. The way he got rolled up on, he got collapsed in, then he gets down to his knees, and then he gets folded backwards. And I thought the injury was when it folded backwards. If you point your toes straight and you fold backwards, it's not a big deal. It's a low ankle sprain. But what happened before is where the real injury was. So am I rambling?
No, you're not rambling. You're not rambling. You're just giving all the information that fans are going to be asking. So when they see did not practice, why didn't you not practice? Oh yeah, Thought Doc said this is what it is. And for those that are like, you're taking the advice and the words of a guy that just slows down video. I absolutely can't stand when people do that stuff. Yo, it's more than a whole lot of other people are doing until their weight. So at least there's people talking about it, and then others chime in. Maybe they're medical professionals. They can say, you know what my man is saying is actually true. Keep doing what you do is what I'm saying. So we appreciate it. Now, I don't like the fact that we might be without James Cook, because James Cook has been absolutely electric. Now, I will speak for myself. At the beginning of the season, I was saying, bro, if James Cook doesn't sign back with his team, we're going to be just fine. We got Ray Davis. But I was also on record saying Ray Davis did not have a great camp. This guy did not look good, and he hasn't really touched the ball. Ty Johnson has been the one getting more touches than Ray Davis. So if James Cook is rested against a team, the Miami Dolphins, the one that we can't take lightly, but at the same time, we should be able to handle them no problem. I don't like the fact that we won't have James Cook. I need my guy in there, and I'm all in. I'm all in on James Cook, man. It is what it is. So now, if we don't have him,
phenomenal.
somebody's got to step up.
I still think if they all right, listen, they all they do is blow smoke. Okay. In-house, I'm pretty sure they know what the deal is. So if they're like Brady, like we're definitely gonna not play Cook this week. We'll say what we want to say in the media, but you better game plan that you're gonna have Ray Davis running the show. I think he just calls it differently. They run different plays that cater to his play style. Not that they don't change their play calls when he does go in, when he spells them, but I feel like when you have a whole week to prepare, you don't have like 90% James Cook type runs that you want to practice with him. I mean, you're gonna use that 90% to practice Ray Davis for what he needs to know. You know what I'm saying? They're not the same back, and it made it look like they were seamlessly going to be jumping in and out. Both looked great last year, but now Ray's struggling a little bit, and then Cook is like, he's become like an X factor. But I think with a whole week of practice, knowing what you're working with, I think it will look a lot better. I would plan on Ray Davis inching at 100 yards. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe call up a little Frank Gore, get him a little practice squad call up.
Hey, watch out. Watch out now. Watch out now. Well, listen, I mean, you pretty much broke everything down to me. I appreciate it. If you were to the most concerning out of all the players on that list to you and what this player means to this team, which one sits as the most concerning to you?
All right, throw it back up because there's a lot of names in them.
There is a lot of names. Give me a sec. Let me bring it back and get you back on track because I'm looking at Joey Bosa. At first I was like, okay, is it James Cook or is it Joey Bosa? Which one do I see as the challenge? So let's just look at the list right now and I'll tell you and you let me know.
All right, re-hit me with a question. Who am I most worried about?
Yeah, so who stands out to you as the most where you're like, I'm the most concerned about this player?
Like long term or just if we can win without
however you interpret my question.
All right, fair enough. Obviously it's Bosa and Cook I'm worried about if we can't win if they're not playing. With that said, I'm not worried about Bosa long term, but I'm a little worried they're downplaying James Cook because if that's got a little high ankle component, you might be surprised that now he's out for the Buccaneers game. Oh, now he's just limited for the third week in a row. Do you know what I'm saying?
I absolutely know what you're saying.
So I think it's all eyes on James Cook, and you'll get mixed bags. Remember his agent last year was like, he's playing, and then he didn't play against the Jets. So I don't know. I don't believe what I hear. I think everything's smoke these days. I just go by what I see on the tape and make a guesstimate. Now, and I might totally be overreacting. It is a very mild medial ankle sprain, and remember, 1 to 3 weeks, and he ends up playing. But I would expect him very limited if he did.
Well, there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, my guy, the Thigh Doc. Every Wednesday, we come in and we chat about these injuries. And today has been one of the longest injury lists so far this year. Let's hope that that's the highest we ever see it and everything dwindles down to the point where we are just talking about 1 or 2 players that are limited. So that's what I'm looking forward to as well. Folks, that is our time with my man, Thigh Doc. Thigh Doc, anything that you want to drop to the folk before you jump out of here?
No, I don't.
You're like, I got something witty, but I'll save it for another time.
One of these days, I'll be in the house by myself again. Who knows what happens when that happens. All right, just ThighDoctor.com, Saturday morning. It'll give you a nice update. And I like using these AI graphics now. I'm getting a little creative with them.
Keep doing it. They're funny.
They're so funny. Yeah.
They're funny.
I know. Yeah.
You got to keep doing it. All right, fellas, listen. ThighDoctor.com. Listen, anything that you guys need to know Friday to Saturday morning. If you're like, I didn't catch up on the show, who's doing what? Saturday mornings, look for ThighDoctor.com with a breakdown and a wonderful new thumb AI generated. We love to see it.
Okay. Go Bills. Take it easy.
Go Bills. All right, take care, man. All right, that's my guy, the Thigh Doc. He's out. And listen, we're back. We're right back at it again. So do me a favor and smash that like as you guys are here hanging out with us. And what did you take away from Thigh Doc's assessment? A lot of these players. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I don't like seeing Christian Benford. I don't like anybody on this list, man. Starter Christian Benford, starter Terrell Bernard, starter Joey Bosa, starter James Cook, Taron Johnson, starter Daquan Jones, starter Josh Palmer, starter. Fam, Like, dude, we got damn near 6 to 7 starters freaking dealing with did not practice or limited. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. So hopefully these are just precautionary, and this was vet / whatever ailment they're dealing with type day, and the next following day they're limited. So Thursday is a big day for us as fans, seeing what we're going to be rolling out with, because I don't want to sit here and dismiss the Miami Dolphins that will be playing. However, there's a huge game the week after that against the Buccaneers. So that one is one that I'm paying close attention to, but you don't want to be jumping ahead. The Miami Dolphins are right in front of us, so those are the teams. That's the team that you want to focus on and go. Will we win that game? I don't have a doubt. Somebody asked me, are you picking the Bills to lose to the Miami Dolphins? I will never pick the Bills to lose to the Miami Dolphins. Not on my life. Not happening. So that's the way I'm looking at this whole thing. But I'll tell you right now, man, I'm really concerned about James Cook. High ankle sprains, if you guys have played high level sports, not even a high level sport, you can roll out of freaking bed and roll your ankle. You can be walking down the street, you trip over a pebble, there goes your ankle. If you got weak ankles, you got weak ankles. That's just what it is, right? So rolling your ankle, whether it's a mid sprain or it's a high ankle sprain or a low sprain, those things suck, because James Cook's game is predicated on side to side lateral movement, stopping on a dime, right? So one bad stop, there goes the ankle. It's weak at this point, right? It's got to tighten up again. So now you become susceptible to rolling your ankle, and that sucks. So maybe, just maybe, a game against the Miami Dolphins is a great game for a guy like Ray Davis. Now, I will say this. I'm still a big fan of Ray Davis. You can still be critical of guys that you like on the squad. I'm still a huge fan of Ray Davis. I think he's a solid player. I don't think that he can't play. I know that he can play, just hasn't had his opportunities. And to be quite bold, at the end of the day, you haven't really needed to give the football to anybody else, because James Cook has been killing it. He's absolutely been killing it this year. So they've been on a limited basis on touching the football. So here we are. So that's the way I'm looking at it in this regard. I just want to double check something here, because I know they haven't had much touches between him and Ty Johnson. There haven't been really much touches between the two. So it does make me wonder. Let me see if I can get that cracking here. It does make me wonder, how many touches has he had this year? Because it can't be many. So he must be chomping at the bit to get going and get some touches. So right now, Ray Davis this year has had 22 carries. Ty Johnson, 17. So they're pretty much hovering around the same mark. All right. So looking forward to seeing how that takes place, how that unfolds. Right now, in terms of rush yards, 72 yards for Ty Johnson, 46 for our guy Ray Davis. And here's the big one. Ray Davis is averaging 2.1 yards a carry. And this is what I've been talking about. And this has been going on since training camp, especially in the preseason game. So 2.1 yards a carry, that ain't going to cut it. That ain't going to do it. So right now, that's going to be interesting to see what takes place if the Bills have to or opt to sit the likes of James Cook. That would really hurt. Statistically, that hurts the feng shui of what we have going with this team. Everything just seems to be gelling with the run game, but it is always going to be next man up. So if Ray Davis has to be the next man up, that boy better be chomping at the bit, ready to go, and really give them a different dynamic. Right now, there's two different backs. Ray Davis is more of a bruiser back, but he can do it all. Pass protection, check. Run between the tackles, check. Can run outside if he needs to, check. And definitely will catch the football. Everything that Ray Davis is able to do, so can Ty Johnson. So you'll probably see a big 1-2 punch between the two of them. So if you're a fantasy player, this would be the ideal time to handcuff and try to grab Ray Davis or Ty Johnson. I went ahead and grabbed Ty Johnson. I wasn't playing no games. I had to make sure that I cover myself just in case my man James Cook does not play. So if you're one of those folks that have not been able to jump on and play some fantasy, go ahead and jump on that. Folks, we're hooking you guys up with a $20 free entry. No, there's really no strings attachment. Jump in there, get your licks in, figure out what you want to do, and we go from there. You get 100% match up to $100 using the code BF25. So go ahead and sign up, man. Do what you got to do. So Thursday night game's coming up. You guys know that. And how do we? I mean, you guys saw my picks. I feel like I should make a new slip, but I think I'd like to just stick to my picks and make sure that, you know what I mean, I got everything under control. So what are we looking at here, folks? You guys let me know. So here's what we're looking at here. Let me share my screen real quick. If you're looking at what I'm looking at here, obviously we got the Raiders and we got the Broncos hitting up. Bo Nix is definitely going to do his thing, so I'll take that freebie any day. Brock Bowers is one of the better tight ends in the game and only in his second year. Anytime touchdown, sign me up. Lastly, Geno Smith. Geno Smith, man, I don't know. This Chip Kelly offense, you know what I'm saying, with coach that's 70+ years of age. I don't know. Is Geno, has he run out of, you know what I mean, great football playing? Because he was great in Seattle. That's what got him his contract with the Raiders. So is he there? Maybe should the Raiders have taken Shedeur Sanders? Well, one will never know. One will never know. So Geno Smith, less than 200 yards. I think that Broncos pass defense is legit. Pat Surtain, Nick Benito, all those boys. The pass rush, the passing defense, solid. So that's the way I have it. Those 3 picks, you know what I'm saying, will get you those 3 correct, get you 70 beans. Listen, man, put a little money on them, man. $10 get you 70. Man, get that. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with y'all. And if that is something that stands out to you, guys like that, jump on that, kid. Jump on that, ladies and gentlemen. Jump on that. Jump all over that. So that being said, that is my time. I hope you guys enjoyed the show with my man Thigh Doc. We just wanted to kind of get out there and kind of get you on board with what's taking place and what we've been doing. And if that's something that was informative for you, we appreciate that, because these are the things that we want to do, right? Thigh Doc comes in, he has more insight, and even the slightest little breakdown of a clip gives you an idea of how said player got hurt. Sometimes you don't even know the player got hurt, and you're like, what? He's on the injury report? What happened? Like Joey Bosa, I knew that he hurt his wrist, but I didn't think that it was a big deal because he was able to shake it off and play the whole through. Now it's a problem. And by the way, my man Polish Tube Bartek says, yo, Pastor Tane's out. Yeah, I saw that he was dealing with some injuries and he was potentially they're gonna sit him out a little bit. But that team is still legitly well. I would think Vance Joseph is the one. Is he the defensive coordinator out there? Can't recall. But nonetheless, love to see it, and looking forward to seeing how it all shakes out in the end. So, folks, that is my time. If you guys appreciate the show, do me a favor before you get out of here, smash that like, and let me get to my super chats. My man Richie Fresh, appreciate that for the reminder. Let me get to my super chats. To my man Richie Fresh coming in, says, yo, injury report or injured because of opponent. Listen, man, sometimes you need a time you're in the middle of the season now, right? 9 games. Well, we're going into week 10. You're 9 games in. You're feeling it a little bit. So sometimes, for precautionary reasons, yo, coach, I ain't gonna practice, man. I'm just gonna do my thing on the sideline and just kind of keep it cool. Sometimes we make more of it than we should, right? So if they didn't practice on Wednesday, is it a big deal? That's why when Thigh Doc said, wait till Thursday is your big day where you really truly find out where a player is. So if he's not practicing on the Thursday, it's not trending well. So Thursdays are big days to see. Does he turn limited? Okay, limited still doesn't mean that you're going to play, but you have a better chance, obviously. I remember back in the day, they used to have like probable or doubtful. They used to have those. They don't have those anymore. It's either you're limited or you didn't practice. It's just one of those things now. But I remember, I think it was Schefter, or was it Rappaport? One of the two explained why they don't use probable or likely to play is because teams were taking advantage of it. Oh, he's probably going to play. So you go ahead for betting reasons, go ahead and, lock things in. All of a sudden did not practice or did not play. You're like, what the hell? It said he was probable. What the heck? Or likely not going to play. Doubtful is going to play. And all of a sudden You're like, you take him out of lineup, you put somebody else in for fantasy or whatever the case is, or for betting purposes. You don't bet that, and all of a sudden the said player is actually playing. So they've eliminated both probable and doubtful. That's something I learned this past weekend. So just to keep things simple, either the person limited or did not practice, and then you'll see if they play or not. That simple. Richie comes back with another super chat, and I appreciate you, Richie. You know I do. My man Richie says, yo, to me, Bean could have made a move. Sure, it would have cost us a little more, but so what? We in the Lombardi business. Just give me, we have Allen vibes. Oh, it gave you, we have Allen vibes. Well, I'm gonna say what I said yesterday. Knowing what we know, right? And he tried, but you don't want to just make a move just cuz. Like making a move just cuz, it makes no sense to me. It's got to be a calculated move, and it's got to be a move that's going to immediately impact you right off the bat. So going for example, a Rashid Shaheed, would he have impacted you right off the bat? We don't know. As much as we want to say we would know, or that definitely could have happened, we don't know. It's not like he's Garrett Wilson. It's not like he's Devontae Adams. And it's not like he's Stephon Diggs. It's not like he's, you know what I'm saying? It's not like he's one of the top receivers in the game where you have to give him the football. He's just going to be mixed in, and we'll give him a few plays to run him deep and so on and so forth. But he's not a guy that you're going to have to make sure you get him the football. So, and when I say that, I mean, like, he's not a prominent guy. So if we were to go after Rashid Shaheed, would we have used him? I assume we would have. But to the magnitude of if we were to go and get a guy like Devontae Adams or Puka Nacua, I'm just throwing a random name out there. Probably not. So then you got to deal with, and I'm sure Bean was probably thinking this, and this is me speculating, by the way. Then you got to deal with, okay, so we used him. We gave a fourth, fifth. We'll use whatever the Seahawks gave the Saints. The Bills gave up a fourth and fifth. So now you've lost 2 draft grades, all right, or 2 draft picks. So now you have Rashid Shaheed. He gives you a modest, you know what I mean, rest of the season. We don't win the championship. Let's just say we don't win the championship. Now Shaheed's like, yo, pay me. I like this play. I like the Bills. I want to be paid one of the biggest paid guys in the game. I'm not saying he's going to, but he's certainly not going to take peanuts either. So now you got to make a decision. You already got Keon Coleman. You have Kincaid. You just brought in Josh Palmer. So now you got to give this guy a big-time deal. So now let's just say, nah, you're too rich for my blood. So now you lost 2 draft picks, and then you lost the player. So now you're less draft picks. Now, I'm not saying that it's the worst thing ever, because that's the risk you take in trading for a player. He could leave, or you end up having a gem of a player and you sign him long term, and ta-da. I just think that Bean was more looking at, if I'm going to swing, I'm going to swing for someone that's going to make an instant impact immediately. But you got to have 2 to tango. And if you didn't have 2 people engaged in trying to make a deal happen, and one guy's saying, I want more, and you're like, dude, you're asking for the moon. I'm not giving you that. And that's where there's a disconnect. That's where the deal can't happen. Because if you're going to overpay for somebody, do you want to make a deal that way? That you got to overpay for someone? Like, who would you have wanted? I'm trying to think of someone that was for sale, a big-time receiver that was for sale, and I don't know, like, give me somebody in the chat, give me someone that you may have heard this name was out there, and the Bills could have, they were linked to this player. And if not, I'll just make a player up that's out there. So let's just say CeeDee Lamb was available. All right, or Pickens. One of them was available. And for CeeDee Lamb, they're like, yo, if you want CeeDee Lamb, you got to give up your 3 firsts. I want this year's, next year's, and the year after that for CeeDee Lamb. Oh, and by the way, give me and I want Keon Coleman on top of that. I'm throwing that in there, right? Brandon Bean's gonna be like, dude, give you 3 first-round picks. I don't think Brandon Bean would do that, right? And I should have asked, and 3 first-round picks, and give me your 2 second-round picks as well. I'm over-exaggerating on purpose to kind of give you an idea of probably what these negotiations would have went for. Give me more than what you're willing to give up. So at this point, if you give up all those things, you're desperate, and that also means you're going all in for it. So if you're going to go all in for it, it better be a player that's worth going all in for. Now, whether it's I'm using CeeDee Lamb, they would have never done CeeDee Lamb, but let's just say if Brandon Beane truly felt good about CeeDee Lamb, I'm all in because I truly believe in CeeDee Lamb. That's the one way I would look at it if you're going to do it that way. So, and most folks might disagree with that and say, hey, if you have a player that you love, you got to go for it. There's no and, ifs, or buts. Go for it and don't hesitate and be the guy that takes it. But here's the deal. When I'm looking at these, like 2 firsts for Garrett, let's just say that. Would you guys give up 2 first-round picks for Garrett Wilson? Is he good enough that he deserves 2 first-round? Would you honestly give up 2 first-round picks? Or would you say, well, you know, I like Garrett. I'll give you a first-round pick, next year's first-round pick, and I'll give you a third. I'm just saying. But let's just say, would you give up 2 first-round picks for Garrett Wilson? Immediately, the thought of it, no. I wouldn't give up 2 first-round picks. But, like, if you're really trying to win a Super Bowl and you feel like he's the piece, then why wouldn't I give up the 2 first-round picks? So those are things that you got to really sit and really think about. Let's just say A.J. Brown. They say, yo, A.J. Brown's available. But if you want A.J. Brown, I'm going to need 2 first-round picks. I doubt they would ask for 2 first-round picks, but Howard Roseman is a nutty dude. But a first-round pick and next year's second-round pick. First and second for A.J. Brown. Would you do it? Or would you need a moment to really think about this one? Jalen Waddle. Yo, it's gonna if I'm gonna trade in the division and you want it, you want Jalen Waddle, you need to give me your 2 first-round picks. Oh, and give me your 3rd-round pick as well this year. This year's 3rd-round pick. I mean, and some people are like immediately, yes, I would absolutely do it. Some people are like, I don't know. But if you're gonna say I don't know, then it almost tells me that, like, yo, are you not trying to give your franchise quarterback that's 29 years of age everything that he can to win a Super Bowl? Isn't that what it comes down to at the end of the day? Because at the end of the day, it comes down to winning the Super Bowl. And if you're not doing everything you can in your being to win a Super Bowl, why are we here? So that's a lot of the questions that are going around as well. So it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. The player would have to be such a gem of a player that it just makes sense. 2 firsts seems rich, but I think it's just in the title. Like, what's really 2 firsts? Some people might look at it that way. Yo, we got 7 other picks to pick from. And the Bills usually pick late anyway. So really, what's 2 first-round picks? You just have to love the player enough. That's the way I look at it. Richie comes in and says, the frustration lies in looking at Howie Roseman and the Eagles with 2 Lombardis in the last 7 years, one with Foles and then one with Hurts. And I have a reply for that. And I'll come back to you, Richie. Richie comes in with another one, says, yo, give the first. Bean don't usually hit till later. And that's another way to look at it. Now, here's I was thinking about that, right? And Howie Roseman specifically with Philly and so on and so forth. Hear me out when I say this, right? I have to write this down, so I'm in my phone looking it up. So everybody's about this myth, right? The salary cap is a myth. I don't believe in that crap. Go and do what you need to do. Because if you look at Philly's doing all the things that they need to do. But there's a difference, though. Because what Philly was able to do, because there's a reality. Restructuring, right? Converting base salary into the signing bonus. A lot of these teams will do that, right? The signing bonus. And it spreads the cap over the future years. We get that part, right? So, like, let's use the Eagles. The Eagles, they use that tactic aggressively. Like Howard Roseman, he's the master of kicking the can down the road, if you will. A lot of people like to use that term, right? But here's the deal. The Bills tried to make some things happen. They restructured Taron Johnson. They restructured him. They made an extra $1.75 million. So it kind of looked like they were ready to do something. But here's the thing. Their options are limited. Look how much money that Josh Allen takes. Josh Allen takes a lot of money. Deion Dawkins takes a lot of money. Dawson Knox is heavy against the cap. So, like, it would actually balloon future if we went to try to do something. On top of that, Philly has $11.6 million in the cap, give or take. I don't know how they have that money, but they do. The Bills, What are we sitting at? 2.6, 2.7 mil? Sorry, $1.6 million. $1.6 million as opposed to 11. So if Philly were to do something because they're so aggressive, it's because they have a little something in their pocket, right? They were trying to go after Micah Parsons. They would have went after Quentin Williams. They'll go after anybody if it makes sense for them. But that's a GM that has a little bit of money in the bank, a little bit, and he's willing to take the risks. Brandon Beane, on the other hand, ain't got the money and doesn't seem like he's a big risk taker. Will he take some risk here and there? Yes, but a safe risk. I don't know if there is even such a thing as a safe risk. But nonetheless, those two GMs are totally different. But you've seen the dividends have paid in, and we're still trying to pay. We're still trying to cash in on ours. So it's a tough situation to be in because Brandon Beane and McDermott they're saying, hey man, I love this team. I think we got the talent on this team, but I mean, what else are they going to say? We didn't strike anything with anybody. So we got to come back and say that we love this team. And we better hope that they get their act together and they go on some historical run and we are able to kind of get right to the end, make the dance and lift that Lombardi up. But let's get through one game at a time. We got the Miami Dolphins next. That's what it's going to go down to. So, all right, folks, that's my time. I got to get out of here. So if you guys enjoy the show, obviously smash it, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and do that. Simple stuff, and we'll go from there. Let me get a couple comments in from the chat before I get out of here, and then we'll go from there. What did DK go for? Did they traded for DK, right? Hold on, let me look up DK's details. DK Metcalf trade details. What did they? Okay, so traded from the Seattle Seahawks to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Rah. So they got a second-round pick plus a swap of 6th and 7th round picks. He signed a massive extension right after. So DK went for a second. And there were times where teams were like, yo, could we get DK? DK might be the guy that we want to get, and da-da-da-da. We didn't swing for DK. So it's you gotta love the player. You gotta love the player. What did Devontae wasn't traded? Was Devontae traded? Oh no, he was let go. He was a free agent. He signed with the Rams. Right? So like folks, the receiving room is going to be pretty damn good next year. Apparently the draft class for receivers is pretty solid. So I assume that we'll probably be in the market for a receiver, depending on how the rest of the season goes. But I mean, shoot, we're here. But listen, Devontae Adams, when he was traded from the Raiders to the New York Jets, it was for a 3rd round pick. Now, obviously, Adams is a little older, but it was for a 3rd round pick. So, I mean, listen, man, maybe it wouldn't have taken 1st round to get these guys. But because the Bills knew that because other people knew that Bills were in demand and they were looking for something, the price goes up. The price goes up. If I know someone's desperate, they're really desperate. So I probably would have been, I would have gave it away for a 4th round pick, but I know they're desperate. I'll say, hey, it's going to cost you a 2nd. Oh, I can't do 2nd. Take my 3rd. Sure, I'll take your 3rd. Right? So when you're desperate, that's why you got to come in not looking like you're desperate. So I always laugh at this. The Cosby Show. I'm a big Cosby Show guy. And with the Cosby Show, when Theo and Mr. Huxtable went to go buy their vehicle, he went looking ratted and tatted, had the most nastiest gear, because if you go looking like you ain't got it, you know what I mean, you'll have a better chance of you know what I mean, getting a better deal from the person. But if they think you got it, then it's different. Now, the analogy is a little different, but you catch what I'm saying. So if I know if I'm a dealership or if I'm another team and I know that, bro, they ain't got it and they're desperate, bro, I'm gonna put it on you. You know what I mean? But if you're coming, I mean, fully loaded and like, yo, let's try to make a deal, it changes a little bit. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I thought that was a funny episode. I always laugh at that one. But that's it for us. So we're gonna find out. Tomorrow's a big day. So pay attention to the injury report tomorrow. If you see a lot more did not practices turn to limiteds, those are good. If you see a whole lot of did not practices, start scratching your head a little bit, because You're gonna see a lot of like call up from the PS squad or God knows what. So we'll see how it all shakes out in the end, folks. All right, I'm out of here, folks. You guys have a great one. I appreciate you guys always tuning in. You know, I love these, and we get to talk. We get to do all our thing and hang out. So that's my time. You guys have yourself a great one. Friday with my guy Z-Bot. We'll be doing the recap of the week, see the injuries, and then we'll talk about the Dolphins and who's going to be playing in that Dolphins game. So hopefully it works out in our favor. You guys have a great one. And until next time, it's your boy. And I'm gone. Let's go.